Substitution for United. Goals in all sorts of games.
Yeah, it's important to score, but for me the most important thing right now is the win together, and that is the most important thing for me right now.
It's your first senior hat-trick for Manchester United. You did it in 8 minutes in front of the Stretford end. Does it get any better than that?
I don't know, but I'm so happy to score my first hat-trick, especially at Old Trafford. I'm so happy, especially for the win, because I think this team deserves it, and we have to keep going like this.
I said to Matthias before, sometimes you play really well and you draw a game, like you did at Anfield. Sometimes you play less well and you can get 3 points, and that's what makes football brilliant.
Yeah. Today, I think, especially in the first half, we were not good enough. But I think we believe it until the end, and we push, and the fans was already there to push us, and we won the match. But we have to keep going like this, because the next match is against Brighton. It's a tough match, and we have to be more focused.
3 different goals for you today. Which one was your favourite? 1, 2 or 3?
I think the second one. The second one is the best one. But I don't know, but I think the second one is my best goal.
Christian Eriksen puts the ball into the penalty area and you just stretch for it. It's a fantastic finish.
Yeah, a player like Christian Eriksen or Bruno, they have the quality to put you the ball like this. So you have to believe it. You have to go. You give them and you go, and you have the ball there. And thanks God I scored the second goal, and I'm so happy.
Just finally, what's that feeling like when the ball hits the back of the net and the Stretford end go wild? What's it feel like in here?
Yeah, I feel proud. I was so happy to score the second goal, and yeah, that's, like I say, I was happy for myself, but I was so happy for the team, because we deserve this win. We have to keep going like this. We need this confidence to keep going, and we have to continue like this.
Thank you.
Congratulations! I'm sure you went through all sort of emotions during that one this evening. Just sum up how you're feeling at the end of it all, though.
In the end, it's good. Very difficult game. A game of duels, same system. I think they did a very good job. Southampton creating space between the lines, and then the number 20 with a lot of space behind. We had some difficulties to stop that player. But then when they lose the physicality in the end of the game, in the last 30 minutes, we find the space to use, and then we could change the game. But the feeling is that we have so much to do. I felt the team really tired, because Liverpool, Arsenal, 120 minutes, and then it's not just tired, the physical part of the player, is the mental part of the player. So was a win, was good. Let's continue.
And Ahmad, the talisman again for you, delivering at the end. Just how key was it to get him in those areas where he can do that sort of damage for you?
Even in the first half, every time Ahmad has the ball, he can push the ball. Sometimes he cannot. He doesn't take one player, but he pushes the other team to the final third inside the box. And that type of players is really important. Like I said, we didn't do a very good game, but in this moment, winning is the most important thing.
I was going to say, Ruben, I felt after the Liverpool game, where I think the performance was really good, I sensed after the game a bit of a frustration from you, from where's that been, where's that mentality been? That carried on to last week against Arsenal. I think you've been probably looking for a bit more of that mentality, that strength, that almost, what's the word? enthusiasm for the game tonight, which wasn't quite there again for 70-75 minutes. And what do you put that down to? Tiredness playing there?
It's not just tired, but playing in this stadium, we lost the last 3 games here, and the pressure is different because we try to press the opponent in build up, and you can feel it, the difficulties, and then Mateus between the lines and dribbling between the lines with creates a lot of problems, and we have difficulties to press high in the moment. Yeah. This team is not used to do that, and then it seems like lack of enthusiasm. So Ugarte is late, Kobe Mainu is late, Bruno going outside, the ball is inside, and then one transition and Lenny Yoro cannot catch the guy. These small things push the team behind, and then we get nervous without ball. But then when you have one click, one goal, one opportunity, you feel like the team can control better the game. Yeah. So I want to be fair with my players. Today was not a lack of enthusiasm, was a lack of speed, and sometimes lack of control of the game.
I was going to say, a lot's been made of your philosophy and the 3-4-1-2 system. I was just going to ask you, do you think you've got the players suited to that? And if you haven't, how long do you think it could take to get to that level?
First of all, it's hard. Of course, they are not used to play like that, because you have to cover a lot of space. You have to jump. We have to change which player is jumping on the press, and then with the ball today, we saw that we have some patterns when the ball is in the sides of the pitch, but then we lose the duels. It's hard to explain now. We don't have the training, so I cannot tell you that they can do it or not. Yeah. But it's a different system. Is so completely different what they are used to do it. So I don't know how long it's going to take. But the profile sometimes you can understand is not the right ones. But we have to improve players, and we know the situation of the club. You have to continue.
Bruno, you mentioned there obviously the problems, but what did you say to them to solve it then at half time? Because you looked frustrated, the ground was frustrated, and they weren't doing what you wanted to do. So what was you telling them then at half time?
The first thing is more to close the middle and to push the ball outside, because we had a lot of problems the ball between the lines. And then I told them to in the game of duels we have to keep the ball, and sometimes you see the ball in the Ahmad or Nuz, ball inside, and Rasmus wants to turn the ball. We have to keep the ball because just one connection change side of the game, and the field is open. And then I told them that in this kind of teams that they were pressing man to man, the simple things of good pass and movement, good reception is the key to the simple things. Is the key to get the chances. I think they improve in the second half.
Ruben, we have to let you go, but thanks so much for coming out to join us.
Good luck. Thank you.
The equaliser was coming, but to then see 2 more conceded in the dying moments, I mean, what is that going to do to the morale of a side that's already bottom?
Yeah, it's going to be extremely difficult, but they had the opportunities to get that second, and ultimately when you don't do that at 1-0, you're always vulnerable. Even as a better team, you're always vulnerable the longer the game stays 1-0. And when you're at Man United, when you're bottom of the league, you start to make changes. Players know on the pitch, when you start to make changes that feel a little bit more defensive, I know certainly as a player, you know, when you see managers do that, you think, oh no, we're on the front foot, I think we're all right.
Yeah.
There's something, it just changes something psychologically, and you know, maybe that was just another difference that in the end went against them.
An incredible few days comes to an end then in the Premier League after this latest match week. So a quick reminder, I mean, he bailed them out is a bit of an understatement, Owen.
Big time. And he deserves his new deal because he's the one, you know, even you saw in that game against Manchester City, they didn't play great, but Ahmad showed up right at the end in the big moments. And, you know, he's only 22, but for such a young man, he has a feel for the big moments. I mean, imagine if they would have lost to Southampton today. 82 minutes, they were 1-0 down. And somehow he just grabbed the game. He got the ball and he just kept running at people, committing people. Okay, at times you get a little bit of good fortune, like he did with the little ricochet Walker-Peters, but he makes things happen. Man United fans are used to seeing wingers get on the ball and make things happen. And Ahmad does that. So credit to him. You know, he's smiling, he's scoring goals. He's just, you got to love watching him.
Yeah. And at 22, to show the composure that he did, you know, because everything was on the line, really, wasn't it, for Manchester United at that point?
He's a confident player, and I think even just listen to his interview, he's got an attitude and a charisma about him that I think is exactly what Man United need a little more of. That's the one we spoke about, the ricochet, but just because he comes in with intensity, it almost helps him get that ricochet. That's the reason it does fall in his favour. And
he's so positive, isn't he, Rachel?
He wants to get at
He's straight at you.
Yeah. And it's a good finish. You know, he knows he's going to probably hit it hard, and he keeps it low. Ramsdale tries as quickly as he can to make himself big, and you know, he sneaks it underneath him. But he was the one throughout. You know, he wanted to be the difference, and he does it for the team. And I think just the energy he has, bringing the fans involved, and those are the things we saw in the first half. You know, Højlund getting frustrated. You see other players, they throw the arms up, they get annoyed, they try and, shoot from distance when maybe there's a better option. I feel he's the one, although he's young, he feels like he does more things for the team, and that's why I think it's easy to be pleased for him to see him get the 3 goals.
I mean, you'd expect that to come from some of the more senior players, right? Not somebody who's the club is building the future around, essentially, right now.
But you could tell the way that his teammates were hugging him after he scored.
Yeah.
Do you know, they were like, thanks. Thanks a lot. You saved us a lot of grief.
Yeah.
And that's how they look up to him, even though he's probably one of the youngest out there. He's the guy that they get him the ball and he just runs at people. It wasn't good football, by the way. They didn't play good football today. Southampton were probably equal, but they had a guy out there in Diallo who he just makes things happen. And sometimes that's all you need, but they definitely need to play better than they did today.
The second goal was a slicker move, the 1-2 with Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, the second goal's a great move, but again, you see him, he gets the ball in a space where he can face up Walker Peters. He walks it down the line, and you just see here Eriksen just the weight of the pass from him in the first instance allows Eriksen to play it first time. He knows he then has the pace and the power to accelerate. He knows the ball's going to come back to him, and that's also intelligent play. This little pass here, it's soft enough that he knows it's coming first time. Beautiful ball from Eriksen. Just that's a difficult pass.
That's
a really
a brilliant
difficult
ball.
pass.
But not one other United winger would make that run after playing that ball to Eriksen. They'd stand still. He plays the ball and he runs forward, Manish. He runs into an area where he can affect the game. That's why Eriksen plays in the ball. That's a difficult finish. By the way, the young guy, he just gets it and he runs at you. And he puts defenders under pressure. And you got to love that. I love just the fact he keeps running. He wants to make things happen. I know it sounds very simple, but it's important.
Yeah, Xerxes was involved in that first, Eriksen clearly in the second. Substitutes played a massive role in the end.
Yeah, well, for both sides, I think for United and Southampton kind of lost control of the game. I mean, that's why they're 20th. They played so well. We were brave, tried to play football. Our abilities. Look, he's a good young player. Can't make mistakes like that. But one thing, Rachel, we mentioned, Diallo, he presses, doesn't he? He's so good pressing.
And if he makes you think you've just a few more seconds than you do, and then he's on top of you. It's really poor, really, really poor from Southampton. But Ahmad's done that. A few goals United have scored recently, but it's that pressure that he comes
to score goals.
You sensed when the equaliser was scored, Danny, you heard them say it on site, you sensed a change of mood. Yeah. You could see the enthusiasm as he ran around celebrating that goal. I mean, the night just got so much better for him. But what did this prove for United, do you think?
There is a long way to go. I think when you look at Ahmed, it's 5 goals, 4 assists in 10 games in the Premier League under Amorim. And that's the type of play that he wants. Energy, desire, commitment, never knowing when you're beaten. And he has been incredible. Now, the problem that you have, there's a lot of pressure on Ahmed now. And we've seen throughout the years with Manchester United, they're known for bringing younger players through, especially when they had that successful era. But there were senior players in the team then that could look after their own game as well as looking after the younger players. Whereas now, sort of, it's the younger players that are sort of driving the game. OK, Mainu was taken off at half-time. We've seen Garnacho fleeting in and out. But Ahmed's he's been absolutely sensational. And if anything, he's probably leading the way for a lot of the senior players.
How much does this maybe change the course of his career or his position, his role in the team at United, what he just did today?
He just continues to grow. I think I see him as one of those players at the moment that is having moments in games where the timing of the run's right, the finishing's right. it's one of those moments that you've just got to embrace and keep on going. At some point, he'll have a dip because of his age and his inexperience, and that's the way it is. But I mean, you've just got to ride that wave at the moment. I think what we need to point out here, and Danny makes a really good point, is that a lot of Manchester United fans will come away from this game very pleased with the result and think, oh, we're back and that's great. There's a lot of cracks being papered over there. That was a poor performance from Manchester United.
Well, these goals only began in the 82nd minute, Danny, so it was definitely a different story for the first half of this game.
It was, and I think, yes, Manchester United have gone on to win the game 3-1, but it was always going to be, when Southampton took the lead, if Manchester United could get the next goal and there's 15, 20 minutes left, they'd probably go on to win the game because they're bottom of the league, Southampton, so their confidence is really low. We spoke about the Brentford game. They lose that game 5-0. It's 1-0 after 60 minutes. So, it's positive as in terms of Ahmed, what he's doing. And let's not forget that he played right wing back this evening as well. And to get a hat-trick is incredible. There's a lot of work to be done. And what I would say, yes, Manchester United won the game, but Amorim, once again, he will have learned more from this game as well. More so than the Liverpool game, the Manchester City game and the Arsenal game.
And that's what he said beforehand. He expected to learn more from this game just because of the expectation, perhaps, that came.
Really important, not just for them, but for all the players. Your life as a footballer has cycles and moments, and sometimes in 1 week your life can change. And you can see Altay against Tottenham, everybody was pointing the finger for Altay, and I understand that. And today he was our hero also. Joshua a few weeks ago had a small problem with our fans, and today every time he's going on the pitch you feel that the support from the fans, and then he has the last penalty. So the life is like that, and you have to continue humble, to work every day. Your time will come, and so it's really important for them, not just for them, but for his teammates.